You don't need 50,000, a fancy trailer, or a Pinterest perfect design to build a tiny house. You need a ruthless mindset. Cut everything that doesn't keep you warm, dry, and alive. And the cheapest tiny house possible isn't about aesthetics, it's about function, survival, and the smart shortcuts. Start with the biggest cost, the structure itself. Most people immediately think tiny house on wheels, but that's where budgets go to die. Trailers are expensive, and building to road legal standards adds complexity and cost. If you want the absolute cheapest option, stay off wheels. Build on a simple foundation, concrete blocks, or a gravel pad, or even skids made from pressure treated lumber. One guy I knew built his entire base using reclaimed telephone poles cut into sections. Cost him almost nothing, and it's still standing to this day. Next is the framing. New lumber will crush your budget if you and this is where scavenging becomes your superpower. Construction sites, Craigslist free sections of Facebook Marketplace, and Habitat for Humanity restores our gold mines. Shortboards, slightly warped studs, and leftover materials are often free or even dirt cheap. You don't need perfection. You need structure. And if a stud is ugly, but it's strong, it works. And there's a short story that proves this point too. A guy building a micro cabin found a pile of discarded 2x4s behind a job site. He asked the foreman, he got permission and framed his entire structure for under $100. The same strength, just less pretty. And for walls, don't overcomplicate it too. Standard 2x4 framing, 16 inches on center if you can. We're stretching to 24 inches if you're really cutting costs and loads are light. Sheathing can be OBS instead of plywood. It's cheaper and it works fine. If you keep it dry. If you're desperate to save more, even pallet wood can be broken down and reused, but that's labor heavy. Roofing too. This is not where you go cheap in a dumb way. A leaking roof destroys everything. The cheapest reliable option is a simple shed roof, one that slopes, minimal cuts, minimal materials, and metal roofing is often cheaper long term than shingles because you can sometimes find used panels or discontinued stock. Plus, it goes on fast and it lasts forever. If you absolutely have to go ultra cheap, rolled roofing works, but expect to replace it sooner. Insulation is where most beginners waste money or go wrong too. You don't need high end spray foam or rigid foam boards. They're affordable and effective and even cheaper, like reclaim insulation. People tear out perfectly usable insulation during renovations all the time. It might not be pretty, but it does work. And in mild climates, you can get away with less insulation entirely, especially in a small space where body heat and cooking does help. And windows are another budget killer. Brand new windows are shockingly expensive. Instead, salvage them. Habitat restores often sell windows for a fraction of retail, and you can also find people giving them away. During home remodels, just make sure they seal properly. One builder used mismatched window from three different houses, looked weird, but it worked perfectly. Doors is the same story. Used exterior doors are everywhere. They're solid, they're cheap, and often already weather sealed. You might spend $20 instead of $200. And siding, this is where creativity saves serious money. T111 plywood siding is one of the cheapest new options, but even cheaper, reclaimed wood. Pallet boards or even metal scraps are tiny house sided interiorly with, pallet wood that costs almost nothing. It takes time, but time is cheaper than money. And when you're building on a budget, it matters. Flooring is another thing. It doesn't need to be fancy. Plywood sealed with polyurethane works fine. It's durable, it's cheap, and it's easy. If you want something nicer, look for leftover flooring lots. People often sell like extra materials after renovation at deep discounts. Utilities is another factor. This is where you decide how cheap you really want to go. And the cheapest tiny house possible avoids full utility hookups entirely. In electricity, you can start with nothing. Seriously, use battery powered lights, power banks, and charge devices elsewhere. The next step up is a small solar setup. You don't need a $10,000 system. A couple panels, a charge controller, a battery, and an inverter can run lights and charge devices. Many people Build starter systems for under $500 using used components. Water is another subject too. The simplest setup is a manual. Water jugs, 5 gallon containers you refill. There's no plumbing required, and one builder lived for months with nothing but two jugs, and one for drinking and one for washing. And upgrade later if you want with a gravity fed system or a small pump. Waste is another big factor. Composting toilets are the cheapest long term solution. You can build one yourself with a bucket and a seat. It's not glamorous, but it works and it costs almost nothing. Heating is the next subject. Skip the expensive HVAC system. A small wood stove is one of the cheapest and most effective ways to heat a tiny space. And you can often find used stoves cheap or even free. Just install it safely. This is not where you cut corners recklessly. And here's where most people fail. They try to build everything at once. And the cheapest tiny house is built in stages. First, get it waterproof. The frame, the roof, the walls, basic doors, and that's your shell. Then move in if you have to. Finish the inside slowly as money comes in. There's a short story that nails this. A guy built a 10 by 12 shed. He wrapped it, he roofed it, and moved in with just a mattress and a lantern. And total cost under $2,000. And over the next year, he added insulation, walls, and a small solar system. Same house, just upgraded over time. Size matters more than you think, and smaller equals cheaper in every way. An 8 by 12 or a 10 by 12 structure is dramatically cheaper than a 16-foot tiny house. Less materials, less labor, and less everything. And people overbuild because they're afraid of discomfort, but the whole point of going cheap is accepting a little discomfort up front. And tools can also drain your budget real quick. If you're not careful, borrow tools whenever possible, rent if needed, and buying everything new will destroy your cost advantage. And many communities have tool libraries now and use them. Fasteners and hardware are sneaky expenses too. Screws, nails, brackets, they add up fast. Buy in bulk when possible or look for leftover supplies from other builders. Even partial boxes can save you money. Transportation costs matter too. If you're constantly driving around for materials, you're burning money. Plan your pickups efficiently. Grab multiple things in one trip. And let's talk about your mindset too, because this is the real difference between a 5,000 tiny dials and a $50,000. You have to stop caring about perfection. Crooked trim doesn't matter. Mismatched siding doesn't matter. Slightly uneven floors still livable. You're building a functional shelter, not a magazine feature. At the extreme end, people have built tiny homes for under $1,000 by using almost entirely salvaged materials, and it's rare, but it proves what's possible when you prioritize resourcefulness over convenience. And a realistic possible build for most people lands somewhere between $2,000 and $8,000, depending on how aggressive you are with sourcing materials. And that's still dramatically cheaper than anything on the market. A simple breakdown mindset too. Foundation, free to a few $100s. Framing, mostly scavenged, under $500. And the roof, $200 to $800, depending on your materials. Windows and doors, $50 to $300 if salvaged. Siding can be free to $500. And interior, bare bones at first, upgrade later, and utilities, it's an optional. Start at zero. And the final piece is location. Land is often the biggest hidden cost. If you already have land, you're ahead. If not, look for creative solutions, friends, property, rural land shares, or even temporary setups where while you figure it out, just make sure you understand local regulations so you don't get forced to move. And the cheapest tiny house isn't about cutting corners dangerously. It's about cutting everything unnecessary. Keep what protects you from weather. Keep what keeps you safe. Everything else is optional. And once you're inside that finished shell, even if it's rough, even if it's imperfect, you realize something important. Comfort doesn't come from how much you spend. It comes from having control over your space and your cost in your life. And that's the real goal. And it's a lot cheaper than most people think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like and subscribe. We're really trying to grow this channel, and I cannot do it without you. And I need you to like and subscribe as much as possible if you found value. Also, check out this video to the right, and I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one.